I'm Adam Graham from PunkTV.ca, and we're here at the Cool House in Toronto with the guys from Ocean City Soundtrack. How you gentlemen doing?
Good. Greater than good. What? Yeah, I'm good.
I was going to congratulate you guys on your new album, even if it kills me. Yes, that's what I was going to do right there. But so what's it kind of like once you get an album out? Does it kind of change shape once it's out of the studio and you guys are doing it live night to night?
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, you know, when you're not as good live, as greater than good live as you are in the studio. I mean, in the studio you've got all these toys and things to tweak it, but I think it's exciting anyway, just to, you know, start doing it, start playing it for real, as opposed to, you know, I guess in the studio you've got all this time and you work on pieces of it, but never all at once, you know. So live, it's just all at once, you know, all the good and the bad that comes with that.
And a lot of people kind of look at like Commit This Memory as kind of the breakthrough album that really expanded your audience in terms of, you know, who was checking you out and who was paying attention to the band. Is there kind of a different approach in album making when you guys know that there's a larger audience out there kind of waiting for it?
I'm not for us. I don't think consciously. We write a bunch of songs and then we pick the ones we like and then we put them on a record. There's no like, you know, these certain people have to like these songs. You know, there's none of that with us.
So it doesn't matter if more people are paying attention or not. Just kind of you guys want to stick to your guns regardless, eh?
Yeah, I think I think it was Mark Hoppus said this to me, because I was worried at first. I was just kind of like, oh wow, it's kind of daunting, because a lot of people, you know, a lot more people bought our second record than our first one, and I was a little bit nervous. And he said that the only way that anyone can really be true to themselves is by not paying any attention to anything and just writing whatever comes out. And I think I knew that, like, internally, you know, like on a gut level, but it was good to hear somebody else who makes music, you know, say that. And yeah, so I guess for a brief minute I was worried, to be perfectly honest, but then as soon as we started writing I just kind of forgot about it and just focused on each song. And that's kind of what we've always done, is just each song, and then we compile them and then we pick and choose.
Just a matter of like trusting yourselves and knowing what you got.
I think so, yeah. And I think Last Night was on the new record. That was a song where we really trusted ourselves, because it was so different sounding than anything we had done before. And like on the first record, I'd say Autographs and Apologies was the same way, like totally different from anything that we'd done before. Yeah, so yeah, I kind of see it as we've just been doing whatever it is that we do, and we don't really even understand it ourselves. And I think it's better that we don't understand it, because I think once you do, I don't know what would happen. What if we ever like figured out what it is that we do?
Was there kind of that worry going in at all that, you know, it might sound like two different albums based on the different sessions that were taking place, and that each guy has their own method of working?
It's a concern, but we had the same mixer through the whole record, so we knew that would kind of tie it all in together. And fortunately, like, the sessions sound very similar engineering done, so we lucked out, I guess, you know. But that was a concern up front, I guess.
That's weird, because like I never even thought about it, but then again, I'm not as like, I think you and Josh tend to notice more about sounds and things, and I don't really pay attention to that as much as the actual ideas. Maybe. So yeah, I was unaware of this, but to me it all sounds like the same record. So.
Do you guys like having the multiple collaborators in that sense? Does it kind of open you guys up a little bit more creatively?
I think I enjoyed the experiences individually. In retrospect, I wouldn't want to do it again like we did it, because we had gained a certain momentum and ease with working with one group of people, and then suddenly halfway through we had to switch gears and totally relearn, you know, how to deal with another person and relate to them. And so that part of it I didn't like, but I did like each individual experience. So I don't know, I guess I would do it again, but maybe take more time with each person, because it was like just about the time we started getting like really comfortable, that session was done, and then we moved on to the next one. And so as far as the ease and comfort level of working with the people, it was a little chaotic. No, I don't know what the word is. I'm a slow learner too.
A little discombobulating?
Yeah, I guess. That was my experience. I don't know what you thought.
I totally agree. I like because we did the first session, we nailed it and we got it done early, and we were like, wow, this, you know, you feel like you're on top of the world, and then you're like, oh crap, we have to start completely over with a new guy. What if we don't get along? Or, you know, it was just a different thing. So luckily it was fine, but I'd rather stick with one, I think.
What's kind of the art of writing the perfect relationship / breakup song?
I think the art of anything is having no idea how you're doing it.
So in your newest video, This Is For Real, you guys got a lot of bowling going on.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys bowlers?
Oh yeah, big time bowlers. I was on a league for 17 years actually. Yeah, our high school had an amazing bowling team. We won, I think 3 out of the 4 years. We took state. 3 out of the 4 years. My freshman year didn't, but that wasn't my fault. Yeah, so big time bowling. I don't know, usually in the 200s, but.
Not to brag.
Not to brag or anything. I mean, I'm not like the greatest bowler. I can't do like the curving stuff. I usually, I tend to veer to the left, so I know where to, aim the ball. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, these guys are pretty good at it.
More of a wee bowler myself.
You guys need like the bumpers, or just kind of free?
Yeah, I remember taking a lot of acid and just like going to the bowling lanes and. No, I'm just kidding. I never did bowling when I took acid. So.
Don't endorse it to the kids either.
No. Stay in school. Be cool. Don't drool.
So you guys have been kicking around for a little bit now, and people kind of put you guys, for better or for worse, into the pop punk and emo scene, regardless of what you guys want to be. Is it one of those things at this point where you just have to kind of take it as it is and just, embrace it for what it is?
Well, I think you always should embrace everything. I mean, I don't know, if people wanted to call us country metal, hip hop, then cool, so be it, because I think the human race has a need to classify, so it's just whatever it is whatever, it is. And I personally don't believe everything I read or see, so I think a one-on-one experience is worth much more than, what's the word? Rumors and, things. Although I'm a total nut and I'll go on like internetmoviedatabase.com and read about, Lindsay Lohan and whatever, but, I don't know. I guess I'm totally, what's the word? I don't practice what I preach.
We have 2 questions that we ask everybody at PunkTV, all right? The first one is, have you ever seen the face of God, had an alien encounter, or a supernatural experience?
I did have what I thought was a really scary experience. In my old house that I used to live in, I used to have these sort of like, those things where you're like in between sleep and being awake, and you can't move your body but you want to, kind of a thing. Well, I had this weird feeling and I couldn't move, and I like I felt this presence that I thought there was this presence, and I kind of turned my head and I like opened my eyes, and there was this little girl like in a white like kind of dress, sort of like translucent, and she just went up to me and she was like, shh, like that, and it was the scariest thing, and I closed my eyes and started screaming, but I couldn't hear my voice. It was like, "Aah!" And then it like came out, and then I like came to, and I was so scared. Yeah, and I couldn't sleep without the lights on for a long time.
Lucid? You were lucid pretty much. I had that experience once, but it was a black dress.
It's so great.
It's like the most terror I've ever felt in my life. Like you're like in a coma kind of, because like you're aware but you can't physically do anything. And yeah, it was like the most terror I've ever felt in my entire life. And then I woke up and it was crazy. But I kind of saw a UFO once. I was in 5th grade, and my whole my mom, my aunt, my sister, and myself were driving back to our hometown from my mom's family, and we were driving down the highway. It was like across the country, like there's nothing around, and we saw this little ball of light just going across the highway, like several miles ahead up in the sky. I mean, to this day can't explain it, because it wasn't like a plane that just went by, because planes just go, and they're done. But this thing kept like hovering back and forth, and then it went up and met another one at one point, and then they flew away from each other, but it kept like beaming around. It was really weird. We could never really explain it, but I don't know. That was kind of freaky. Yeah.
Some things are unexplainable, right?
X-Files explains everything.
The last thing for you guys is, what would surprise kids the most to know about Motion City Soundtrack that they might not know already?
We're all skilled librarians, and we do use the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah. Our catalog never lets us down. What the hell are we talking about?
I don't even know. But Party Girl is a great movie starring Parker Posey, and apparently even a trained monkey learned how to use the Dewey Decimal System in a matter of hours.
So anything's possible. If you can squeeze it in between the bowling time, you're fine.
Straight up. Not tell me.
Well, gentlemen, thanks a lot for doing this today.
Yeah.
All right.